Hi, welcome to Healing Humanity. My name is Dina, and today I want to talk to you about the waiting. So, the other day I told you about my ex husband passing away, and it's been a really emotional and a really trying time for me and for my family. You know, things have been very emotional for all of us, and because he was such a, um, he was just so active in our lives. And so, it's a loss, right? It's a big loss. So, you have the stress of that. And then on top of that, as I mentioned, I'm packing and I'm going to be moving in 2 weeks. Or I thought. I got a text message today that tells me that they're extremely sorry, but the apartment is no longer available. And so now I'm at a standstill with this. And this is where a lot of things can break down, right? Like I could go out and have a drink, or I could completely lose my mind. And I could break down in tears, but it's not going to do me any good. None of that is. I just have to keep going, right? Keep taking care of myself, keep looking ahead, keep hoping, and sitting in that waiting period and waiting for God to direct me somewhere else. Now, that's not to say that you don't act or I don't act, because I do. I'll have to start looking for alternative solutions for a place. It's not that I have to leave directly. I don't. I have longer time here. The landlord is open to me staying for longer, and when the property does go under contract, then there'll be things to talk about at that point. But right now I still am open. But I'm living out of boxes now, and I'm not used to that at all. So I guess I'm sharing this with you so you know that although this absolutely sucks, and I'm very, very upset about it, especially with the arrogance that can find me during these periods of time, and the boldness that from some people who believe that they have greater control than God tend to show during these periods. Those things drive me crazy. Um, that's where I need to check my emotions because it makes me want to lash out at people. But I never have, and I never will, but it makes me want to. And I have to learn to control that because I have to trust that God has my back. He knows what I need. He knows what I want. Um, and I have to believe that through everything, He will get me where I need to be. And if that means that I have to live out of boxes for a while longer, or if that means that um, something else is out there that perhaps is better than where I was going to go, then that's what it means. It's trusting. It's truly trusting in the universe, in God, to be able to direct you. And the hardest part is to sit in the waiting period, to know that He's moving on your behalf, He's going to direct you, but it's not knowing when that's going to happen, what it's going to be, and is it going to be better, or are you going to be led somewhere worse? And most of the time, in fact, every single time, it's not worse at all. So I think we need to understand that God and the universe is, if we believe and we trust, then you will be led exactly where you need to go. And that doesn't mean that there's not emotional traumas, there's not problems, there's not frustrations, there's not bold arrogance that will find you along your path. It just means that when you trust in God, when you trust in His righteousness and His ways, and you're walking with Him, you you have a sense of calm about it. Like, God, years ago, I would be yelling right now. I would be calling, everybody I know, making a fuss. and freaking out, not knowing where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to, um, make things work, and where am I going to go? And I would be really, really, semi afraid, but more like so frustrated and angry that it happened. And now, somebody asked me, they're like, well, did you get a reason why? And I said, no, not really. I never asked. And it's not, number one, it's none of my business. Number two, do I think that I'm due an explanation? Maybe, but at the same time, it's not going to change the fact that I'm not able to rent the next place. So, and now I just have to look and be open to the signs for whatever is coming next. And that's what I encourage you to do. This is how I've been living my life for the last several years. And um, in some aspects, it may appear that things are not working out real well, but on the other side of it, my life has changed. I've gone from living in New Hampshire to moving a couple different places around the country, which have been really meaningful and kind of amazing. Meeting all kinds of new people, making new friends, and um, and trusting that God has my back. I'm financially doing better, emotionally doing better. This place that I'm in right now it's very bittersweet to leave, because while I've been here, I've been able to truly, truly rest for probably the first time, if not my life, at least over the last 10 years. Um, and I needed that. I needed that more than what I even realized. And I had no idea how like twisted up I was inside, until I realized that I was actually truly relaxing. Or actually, honestly, it wasn't even the relaxing, it was the trying to relax. Like, I was at a state where I didn't even know what it meant to relax. I kept telling people, like, it's work for me to relax. I don't understand what people do. Like, why do I have to do this? And I'm fighting it. And they're like, I'm not going to fight with you. You just need to relax. And I have been going so hard and so fast, probably my whole life. I remember thinking when I was a kid, like, I didn't stop to eat. I didn't want to sleep. I just kept going, going, going. All of everything other than what I was doing for work or creating was a waste of my time. Right? Eating, sleeping, playing. I don't. It's which reminds me. I mean, I'm in an area where people come to play. They come to ski. They come to hike. They come to bike. It's a huge community of people who know how to play. And I envy that, because I have no idea. I've never been one to put play at the top of my list. If I get to, that's great, but it's never been something that leads my actions. It's always been work, it's been family and things like that. Volunteerism, anything that just, kept me active and kept me with people, and um, productive, I guess, if you will. I loved it. It was how I like to live my life. But now I'm being told, to relax. And the good part about having been here is that this place has allowed me to do that. This place has, where I'm at now, has just given me that peace that I really, really needed. And I didn't see it before, but I do now. So that's why it's bittersweet to leave here, because, I don't know what's next. I don't know if there's something that's going to require me to go back to, that push and that grind again, or whether it's something better than where I'm at now, where I can relax and be at peace even more. But I am trying to stay in joy. And I think that we all need to do that. It's like, Philippians is a big story in the Bible where Paul was imprisoned, and everything that he did, everything that man went through, he counted it as joy in his life. And he stated that somewhere in there, count it all as joy. And that is not easy to do. But when you get to that point, when you get to the point where you realize that something grander than you and something grander than any of the groups that you may encounter in your life, when you believe that there's something greater than all of us and you trust in that, it does bring that joy to you. It's there's a peace in me that I can't explain, and I shouldn't have it, honestly. Like, if I was who I was, 10, 15 years ago, I would be freaking out right now, but I'm not. I'm still sad from the loss of my ex-husband. I'm still not sure what's going to happen next, or where I'm going to go, or what I'm supposed to be doing, or even what I want to do. I've just been guided this whole time, and it's worked out. It's been purposeful, and I understand that. So sitting in the wait is the hardest part. When I asked a lady at church, she said, you're in that waiting period, and I said, yeah. And if I start to get, where I'm feeling a little, bitter or anything, please check me. Remind me that I need to wait on God, because God's moving in some way that I just can't see. And that's what's amazing about it. So I guess we'll all find out what's next, because I have no idea. It may be that it comes as an epiphany to myself. It may be an emotional pull to something. It could be that there's signs and synchronicities that will come to me that are very meaningful and purposeful, and gives me a sense of knowing. So then I will know that that's where I'm supposed to be looking and putting my attention to. But for now, this is it. I do this, and then I'm going to go to sleep, because I think I need that. But I just want you to know that, even through all of the changes and all of the chaos, and there's been a lot of changes, a lot of people in my life have shifted their, they just have not been honorable, I guess I would say. They say one thing, do another. They say one thing and then change their mind, weeks later or a day later or whatever. I don't operate that way. I never have. And I don't understand that mentality, but I would say that through all of the changes and all of the chaos that has been dumped into my life, I still have a sense of joy. I still wake up every morning thanking God that I'm able to take that new breath, that I'm able to go into the world and make some sort of difference wherever I'm at. It may not be the biggest and most important job, but it matters. And, and it's important to do the best you can with whatever God puts in your path. Because you don't know who's watching you. You don't know what's happening outside of your immediate sphere. So I would just encourage you that even when things suck, and they do sometimes, right? They just suck. Even when they just suck, just take that deep breath. Remember to breathe. Remember to focus on yourself in those moments, and say, I guess a part of what I used to do also was that I would sabotage myself. Like I would get down in the dumps and not work out, or I would get down in the dumps and not, I don't know, just not take care of myself, right? Some people just put pajamas on and stay in bed for 3 days, whatever. I would just encourage you to not allow yourself to do that. Think positively, breathe deeply, and just continue taking care of yourself, continue going down your path, continue to look for those signs and synchronicities, continue to trust in God above, that He has your best interest at heart. And at the end of the day, He will get you where you need to be. Always. So Till next time, my friends, keep healing no matter what.